Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the new Fit starter site that just launched yesterday. So pretty exciting stuff. You can get your hands on this starter site or just read all about it by going to the My Listing Club website. That's mylisting.club. Scroll down the page just a bit and click on the My Listing starter sites card. And from there, just click Explore Sites. And then let's click into the Fit card here. So the main thing for this particular video is we're going to look at the build notes. But before we do that, I just wanted to touch on the premium plugins and add-ons. As you see here on my screen, there's a $374 annual value. So that's right off the bat, the second you buy these starter sites, besides the design, the functionality, and all of that stuff. On top of that, just the software alone that you get makes this a no-brainer. And this is every year. So if you have your starter site or your My Listing site running for another, starting the second year, that value is going to kick in again right then. So you've just paid for your starter site. Okay, so I wanted to cover that. And clicking into there, we can see who's on board currently. I'm basically looking to get to cover the core feature set that I think should be in every website. So obviously Elementor Pro, we want that. We need an SEO plugin, so we've got that covered with the SEO Press Pro. We need an optimization plugin, so that's where Perf Matters comes in. We need something for permalinks and doing custom stuff with that, which you'll hear more about here in a second. So that's where Permalink Manager Pro comes in. We want to customize our WordPress dashboard potentially, so that's where UI Press Pro comes on board. We need an anti-spam solution, WP Armor for that, and then WP Codebox for managing all of our code snippets in an optimal fashion. As far as the premium add-ons, these are things that I sell individually through the club that I include with every starter site purchase. So that's the MyListing project template, the single listing character counter, MyListing add-on for Permalink Manager Pro, and any others that come about in the future, I make available to people, even people that purchased starter sites in the past. Okay, so I wanted to quickly cover that. But again, the build notes is what we're going to be running through. As you can see, there's a ton here. I've documented pretty much everything I've done from minute one of building this site. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to pull this over to my other screen so I can follow along with during this video. I'm going to go really fast because one, just for the sake of time, and two, because you can read the build notes. And for three, when you go to the product page for each of these things, there's a walkthrough video also included for most templates and CSS packages already. So, okay, so I'm going to fly through this. I'm not going to cover every single thing, but touch on some of the more major stuff. Yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into this. And again, I'm going to move really quick, so apologies for that. If I seem like I'm just being really short with some certain things, because a lot of things you guys already know how they work and function and all that, so I won't go into that. So for example, like a 404 page, you know the purpose of that. I don't need to explain that and why you need one and all that stuff, but just things like that I might not go in depth with. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just going to go top to bottom. 404 page, like I said, you know what they are, you know why you should have them. If you don't, I've got all kinds of articles and stuff on guys on the website, the club website and stuff of what it's all about. But basically, if I just type in some bogus page or a fake link or something like that, this 404 page is going to come up. This is a template that you can get. It's included in the starter site, or you can just get it from the club website. But that's the 404 page. Okay, moving on down, the author page. So if I was to go to the Explore page, let's say we're just going to look at a coach's listing. And let's just say hypothetically that the coach writes articles for the website as well. So let's pretend that that was them right here where I'm hovering, clicking. Let's pretend this was their author, block link, whatever. If we click into that, this is what they would get. There's a lot of dynamic components here. The user avatar, the name of the author, again scrolling down, the name of the author, company name, title, certifications, a couple icons here, one for LinkedIn, one for their website, and then a bio. So this is dynamic information that is pulled in through a free plugin that's included in the site. And I'll cover that a little bit later. But basically what I've done here is it said, hey, let's pull in this dynamic information. If the user doesn't fill in this dynamic information, let's hide these components. So for example, we don't want to show the LinkedIn icon if they didn't put in their LinkedIn profile link, right? So that's how that's done. Again, that's done with a dynamic plugin. I'll get to that here in a second. I'm trying to think what else I need to say about this. Yeah, so they're just really highly dynamic. So rather than creating an individual author page and customizing it, you just have the one author template that's included with the starter site. I won't keep repeating it, but everything that's available here that I'm showing you is in the starter site, obviously, but everything else is also available for download. Okay, so I won't keep saying that. Another thing I won't keep saying is the gradients. You're going to see this gradient look left to right, this theme throughout this site. So I won't keep mentioning that either, but lots of cool gradient features on this site following the same left to right pattern with these colors. What else can I say about the author page? This is comprised of the author page template. There's a profile page template that they go to, so I'll show you that. I thought I was logged in here. Let's see. Now let's go ahead and show you the login page. Okay, so now we're logged in, and let's just pretend like we're the author here. We go up on the top right here and we click on our name, our image, our avatar, whatever. The slide out is going to pop up, and I'll cover this more in a second. There is a profile link in here. Within this profile link, this is a profile page where they can fill in their information here. So if I was to remove, hypothetically, this LinkedIn profile link from this form and click update, that would then remove that icon from the author page. So if we go back here, I remove this LinkedIn link and I click save, this icon right here is going to disappear. So that's all dynamic, right? Another thing I'll mention here is you'll see this blue box here for WP Armor. This is only seen by the admin if the admin is logged in. Otherwise, nobody sees this. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. There's nothing wrong with the site. It's just, if you read it, it just says only visible to site admins. Okay. Yeah, so what else can I say? The posts are pulled in dynamically based on the author. So we got a couple section of posts there, and then listings. I unlocked the listings post type. So now the listings can be pulled into the author pages as well. And then there's a subscribe form at the bottom here, and some social share icons at the bottom. Okay, there's a lot to go in. I mean, I can talk forever on this, but we're going to keep moving. There's a guide on the club website for completely customizing the MyListing login registration experience and how that's done. There's also a guide for how to build custom author pages using Elementor. It just covers everything that I've done here to build all this stuff. Okay, moving on to the blog page. So here we are looking at the blog page. So new articles here at the top, and then a couple category sections here, categories 1 through 4. So that's all dynamic based on the category that it's pulling in there. A little special offer CTA, just to give you guys some examples of where you can throw some of your own ads in there or link to your shop in some way, however you want to do that. These category buttons at the top, CTAs linked to the area of the page. And then there's, as you can see, more CTA special offer things there, and another subscribe form at the bottom, and social share icons. Okay, so that is the blog page, blog category page. So if I was to click into one of these categories, this is a category page. We see that the category name is dynamically populated at the top. Then you've got the subcategory CTAs at the bottom here. Clicking on those drop you down into that section, and it's the similar build components of the blog page. Okay. What else? What comprises this is the single blog, the blog page and the blog category page. And then you could also consider the single blog post as part of this too. So let's click into one of those. So go into one of these actual posts. So this is the single blog post template. Okay. Gradient elements, as you see, this links right to the blog. If I was to click on that, some social share icons with some custom hover animation and gradients, and SEO structure is laid out for you. Obviously, this would be your H1 up here, and the H2, H3, so on and so forth. So that's laid out for you. Okay, let's move on. Cart page. This was done entirely with CSS rather than building any sort of a template. It's just lighter weight to do it this way. You don't need to mess with building the template. By all means, if you need more functionality on your cart page, sure, you can build that with Elementor, but the goal should be to keep things clean and simple and less distraction for people. But everything's customized. Everything is custom here. It's down to the finer details here. Okay. Light and dark modes are available. So let me quickly show you this. And this also, I'll say this once and then won't have to keep saying it again, but there's a light and dark mode available for a lot of these things. So when I built the Basecamp starter site, for example, which has a lot of dark elements, a lot of the questions I get is how easy is it to translate it over to a light mode? And while it is easy, and for this site, I took the extra time to do 2 versions of a lot of things. Cart page being one. So it's dark mode by default. So if you don't want dark mode, you can toggle that off. Jump down here to cart page light mode, toggle that on, refresh the page. And just like that, you've got the light version. I'll show you this on one more page since I cleared out the cart. It's hard to tell what it looks like, but I'll show you it again. So it's toggle light mode off, toggle dark mode back on. There you go. It's just that easy. So for this, it's just 2 CSS packages. Either you choose the dark or the light. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to that. Checkout page, it's the same deal. Probably not much even to show you here. Yeah, let's put something in our cart here. Here we go. Sorry, I forgot to add the product. Okay, so here's the cart page again. It's back to dark mode. I'll just quickly flip this to light mode, and we'll get this out of the way so you can see how the transition works. There you go. Cool. All right, so let's flip this back. Let's check out the checkout page. Same thing, light mode, dark mode available, but you get the idea. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in the checkout page. Again, it's 2 things, dark mode CSS package or light mode. Take your pick there. Moving on, I can't show you the coming soon maintenance mode page, but like I said, in this, if you go to the product item for this on the club website, there's a walkthrough video for that. So it's just a coming soon page template. Custom code snippets. This is a big topic. If there was one plugin other than Elementor Pro that I should say should go on a MyListing website immediately, it's WP Code Box. And that's what we're looking at here. This is what I use to manage all of the snippets in a responsible, easy optimization type of way. So what we're doing here, so let's look at the cart page CSS again, for example. If we open this conditions builder, WP Code Box, we are saying if the current post is the cart, let's load the CSS. Okay. Now on a typical MyListing website, if you go to theme tools, theme options, custom code, and then CSS, a lot of times you're going to be told to put your CSS here, or you're going to put it in the customizer or somewhere else. When you do that, that CSS is going to load on every single page unless you tell it not to. So really simply with WP Code Box, we say only load under these specific conditions. Okay, so like for example, single listings I put a lot of CSS into making them look the way they do. Imagine if all of this CSS loaded on every single page of your website, and then you times that by all of these CSS snippets. How much load that adds to your site. So again, on this conditions builder, if the post type is a listing, apply this CSS. Otherwise, do not. Okay. Modular. Yeah. So again, if you're having issues with, you think you're having issues with the snippet, or you just want to test some things, I showed you how you can toggle them on and off. Looking at like more of a code snippet. So like listing feed carousel autoplay, or let's look at this one. Allow MyListing quick search and Elementor pop-up. Let's just say you were having an issue or something. You could toggle this off, disable it, test. Did the issue go away? That sort of thing. Or let's say you, a little bit of a side note, but if you wanted to duplicate, you could right click on a snippet, clone it, make your changes, disable one or the other, see if one looks better. I mean, there's just, the sky is the limit with this plugin. It's just pretty ridiculous. Yeah, in the build notes, I tell you exactly which snippets are involved. So I lay out, aside from all the CSS, I tell you each of these snippets, which ones are active, which ones are not. They're all active except for this one, open single listing block items, links in a new browser tab. And that's more site specific, business specific. I didn't want to enable that for everybody. So, but it's there. Oh, and also WP Code Box is heavily discounted on the club website. So definitely check it out. I can't recommend it enough. I use it on all my sites. Custom login and registration experience. This one's a biggie. Let me show you this. So this is the custom login page. Let me jump back a level here. If you're not logged into the site, and then you're going to get this login and register at the top here. So if we click login, we're going to get this page where if they don't have an account, they can click create an account and go there. Or register, it's going to take you to the register page. You notice that both of these pages are custom. Okay. What I've basically unlocked here is the ability to completely customize the login registration experience. The sky's the limit. And now that this is open to you with Elementor, you can do whatever you want with it. Again, totally up to you. I guess it's the good time to get into how this is done. Let's look at the login page here. So using the free that's not free, but the Actions Pack for Elementor plugin, it's very inexpensive. It's included in the site. You likely won't even need to pay for your own license for quite some time. But that's what's doing this magic here. So basically, you just create your page. You drop a form in. It's an Elementor form, Elementor Pro form that you're used to using, and then it's just an action. And I'll show you this right now. So if we go to pages, and let's go to the login page. So again, build the page however you want with Elementor. You just add this form in here. It's your typical form. Actions after submit, you just say, hey, this is a login form. That's going to unlock this login section, and then that's going to give you this whole bunch of opportunities, redirections based on role, how they're able to register, all kinds of things. So one thing I really want to show you is the redirection. You can configure this however you want. But basically I'm saying, hey, if you're the admin, let's drop you into the WordPress dashboard. If you're an editor, let's drop you into that section. If you're an author, that section. A subscriber, let's drop you into a specific page or section of a page, which is what we're doing here. So if I browse to this, it's going to drop me into the get started and then the reach further section. So getting people into the sales funnel. If they're a subscriber role, if they're a customer, let's drop them into the explore page. You can do whatever you want there. Because we're using WooCommerce product vendors, a multi-vendor product. Hey, if we're a vendor admin, let's drop them right into their store. That sort of thing. Okay. Again, sky's the limit here. This is the login page. The register page will give you the same exact form, except instead of actions after submit, choosing login, you'll choose register. That unlocks all kinds of registration options, including adding any custom field that you want to add. All these form fields open up. You can create whatever you want in here. Okay. Let me go ahead and close this down. So this is comprised of there's the login page, there's the register page, and then there's a lost password page. So they all look identical in terms of design. It's just that form I've got specifically customized. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to the Explore page. By default, you're going to get this look. This is the dark mode look. A lot of time and effort went into making all of this look the way that it does, all done with CSS only. Some unique features I'll show, other than what you can already see, is if they check a box, then it does a gradient check mark following the same gradient pattern we're using. The proximity slider has got the same gradient, but it's kind of dimmed out until they slide, and then it pops up at the full color. A gradient search button. If there are no listings that match the criteria, you're going to get this custom fit logo rather than an ugly icon that looks like an upside down or like a frowny face that's default with MyListing. So that's kind of a cool feature. If they check this box, search as I move the map, that's going to give them that custom checkbox, check mark again with the gradient. What else? The taxonomies have the gradient on those, the custom gradient. What else? Classes is unique in that these boxes right here where you choose the class date, this is all custom coded. I think everything else is the same. Light and dark mode is available. So it's the Explore page dark mode or light mode CSS package. Another thing that comprises this is the listing previews. That's these cards you see right here. So that comes from the listing previews CSS package. That's how that's built. Nothing but CSS. You don't need a third-party plugin or anything to get this look. And there's a light and a dark mode for that as well. Okay. I'll get into the listing previews in a moment. Another thing I wanted to show you was the compare. So if they click the listings to compare them, you'll see that same custom gradient is there. And then after they do the compare items, this is what's going to be there. This is all custom too. By default, my listing includes some rows or I can't remember what rows or columns that were just unnecessary. I clean all that up. But you really only want to show like the very important information that's different amongst the listings. So you got to be careful what you choose to put in here. Just be careful what you put in here. By default, my listing checks the box, add to the comparison pop-up by default. That's a huge thing to consider. They shouldn't do that, but you need to go through and uncheck all that stuff. Otherwise, that compare window is going to be massive and it's not going to be useful to anybody. So definitely check that out. Okay, I think I got that. light and dark mode. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's look at the footer. Sorry, I'm having mouse troubles here. A little one-liner subscribe form here for a newsletter. Mobile app icon images down there. Gradient on hover menu items with some social icons here. Whatever page is active, so if I click on sitemap, then that page that is going to show like an active gradient on it. Dynamic date widget down here at the bottom for the copyright. Okay, I think that's good enough for the footer, and that's just a template that you can get. Let's go to the Get Started page. So this is a very important page for guiding people where you want them to go on your website. So if they click sign up here, sign in, sign up, that's going to take them to that custom login registration. Claim listings, this is going to do a pop-up where they can do a search for the listings on the platform, claim them if they have any. Add listings is going to drop them into a section down here where they can choose their listing type. Reach further is going to drop them down to the reach further. This is where you can get them more into your sales funnel and making more money from listing owners. And also helping them realize things that they can do to improve their listings and make more money themselves. If they were to skip all these boxes and just start scrolling, they'll get the claim listings right off the bat. Again, where they can search, add listings, and then just reach further. Promoted listings, learn more, takes you to the support page and drops them down into the promote your listings section. And there's other sections on here too. If they, like, you see that promotions right there. There's another section down here. Talks all about promotions. So pretty cool stuff. Google reviews. This will drop them right into the Google reviews. Well, not right into it, but they can scroll and find it down there. And finally, the product store. That should take them where they can, yeah, that could probably be linked better. I'm not sure why I chose to go there for that. So maybe I'll fix that after this video. So product store should go somewhere on here that talks about their products. Oh, okay, I see. So I'll fix that link when we're done here. Okay, no big deal. Yeah, device mockup, inspiration. You've probably seen that on the last two starter sites before this. Just to give you guys an idea of how this can be done. This is done with a Chrome extension called Hoverify, and you can get a really good deal through the club if you're a member. I use this every day. It's super powerful, but the responsive function feature is how you get these screenshots. And it's also a good way just to see how your design looks on mobile devices. Okay, so to get started, it's made up. There's a dark mode template, a light mode template, the claim listings pop-up template, and there's a code snippet for allowing MyListing quick search to work in Elementor pop-ups. Okay, let's move on to the header. For this site, I went back to the default MyListing header and just designed it to match this site. So up here in the quick search, we see some gradient. This is all custom, and then there's some gradient, a gradient button there. Gradient hover on the menu items. That's all cool. As part of this, if you click on the logged in user avatar or their name, it's going to get this pop-up. I think I covered that here in a bit. Yeah, I'll cover that here in a bit. But looking at this on mobile, this has a dark mode look. And if you expand these out, you see that it has a nice look there, a little bit of indentation on the partially there. If you click on the user avatar or name again, you're going to get this nice dashboard menu. So that's pretty cool. So what's part of this? You need the global CSS package to finish off this look. The dashboard menu, the pop-up I showed you, if you want that template. And I mentioned this too, but it's kind of related. The login page template, register page template, lost password page template. All right, so let's jump over to the home page. So what do I want to say about this? There's an animated headline up here with the gradient added to it. The big component on this page is the listing feeds, and they are set to autoplay with a code snippet. I also, with CSS, removed all of the head buttons except for the promoted and the featured. I'm calling them bubbles with the custom gradient added. And I stripped out the footer and left only the title of the listing and the custom verified badge. And then for the coaches, it's got their avatar in there, so that's pretty cool. The reason these are a little higher, a little bit more work could probably be done I know it could be done if you want to adjust it. But if you think that this text you want it to be a little bit lower on the card, you could target specifically these individual feeds if you wanted to. You just got to be careful because of these avatars. Once you start moving those down, they start getting cut off. So you need to really dive in there and figure out how to make those display properly. But it can be done. Some custom CTAs here in the middle with the gradient again, showing these photos of the destinations. So that's pretty cool stuff. And then a little CTA mock-up for if you want to drop an ad in there or a link to your store or whatever. Here we have the embed social. These are the Google reviews being embedded. If you're a club member, you can get a crazy deal off embed social. It's really popular with the MyListing Club community, and I think it's like 65% off. It's just crazy the discount they gave us. But this is a great way for you yourself to display your own reviews for your website itself, but also to embed into the listings, which I'll show you here in a second. Okay, pretty cool stuff there. So this is the homepage template, the listing feed CSS package, which makes this do what it's doing and look the way it does, and then the listing feed carousel autoplay code snippet to make it autoplay, scroll left or right, that sort of thing. How it works page. A little scroll animation here on step 1, just because if you don't do that and put that text starting at the top, you're going to have that huge gap over here. So I didn't want that. So as you scroll down, it's going to fall and then match and line perfectly with that device mockup. A couple links here with some custom gradients to go to those pages and whatnot. So sign up, claim listings, add listings, and reach further. So login. Claim listings, get started, add listings, and reach further. Okay. Device mockups again, all done with Hoverify. Sign up's going to take you to sign up. This just guides people, like businesses specifically, on how it's going to go with your platform for them. Okay. So get started, or they skip that and then they go down here, sign up, sign in, claim listings, add listings. Choose your membership plan. If they have questions, click the button. They'll get a form. Again, they won't see that blue WP Armor box. Only you will. Manage listings. That's going to take them to their dashboard, assuming that they've got other listings on the platform or listings on the platform. This is going to say, hey, while you're waiting for your listings to be approved, let's go add some more. If they want to add some more listings, there's the direct links for that. This is going to go to the reach further page. This gets them into your sales funnel that I showed you earlier, and showing them how to make their experience better so they can make more money. Okay. Oh, also in the footer, I forgot to mention, it's not really part of the footer, but it is. So it's not part of the template itself, but the scroll to top feature, if you look here in my bottom right on my screen, so that's kind of that is custom with that gradient added, so that's pretty cool. Okay, the how it works page is made up of, there's a dark mode template, light mode template, contact form pop-up template, claim listings pop-up template. Listing packages and subscriptions, the best way I can show you this is going to the pricing page. The products themselves is what builds out these features that are shown here. So this text, the name of the product, the price, this text, all these features and check marks, and the plan features link here. So if I click on plan features, that's going to go to the support page and drop them right into the features section. But these all come from the WooCommerce product itself, and then I throw some CSS at it to make it all look like this. As you can see, a lot of work went into making each of these individual pricing boxes have its CSS, the gradient match. You can see that on my screen. Okay, and all these check marks, everything is just unique to the individual plan. So the products you'll get would be the 4 subscription product, listing subscription products, which you see here, the listing subscription group product, which allows the switching of the subscriptions, upgrade or downgrade, listing promotion products, there's 3 of them, and any of like the store products. So anything you see in the shop or the vendor's products. So all of this stuff is included in there. Okay, so this consists of the listing packages, which I just talked about, pricing page CSS package, and then the pricing page template itself. That's for the front-facing pricing page. So this one, which is important because unless you display this up front or something that shows your pricing, there's no way for people to know until they get into the ad listing processes, which is just a bad way to do it. They should be aware of how much things are going to cost before they go down the ad listing process. Listing previews, we'll go back to the Explore page for that. Again, those are the preview cards that we see here. It also involves the quick view. So if I click into quick view, that's everything that's built in here. Another part of that is that I threw CSS at this to bring up the footer into the card itself at the bottom, so it all looks like it's one cohesive unit rather than separated. So I thought that's pretty cool. If they favorite one of the cards or one of the listings, the icon itself gets filled instead of the background, which I think is neat, keeping that color within the icon itself. What else can I tell you? There's that. I'll show you that in a minute. It's separate. So again, light modes and dark modes. On mobile especially, it's made to look a lot better. If you look at this out of the box by default with MyListing, it doesn't look like what you're about to see. It's just, I've made it much easier to read. It's just better all around in my opinion. So I wanted to mention that. All right, so this is just made up of 2 CSS packages. That's what gets you this look. It's the dark mode or the light mode listing preview CSS package. All right, let's go over to the MyListing dashboard. So for that, we click on our avatar or our username once we're logged in. That slide out dashboard pop-up comes up. Let's go into analytics. Each of these boxes, again, custom coded based on the gradient. So that purple, the blue, and green. Everything is each box is unique. So the purple here, and you'll notice that this is views, and over here on the right in the chart, that same purple is mapped. The unique views, blue over here on the stat chart, the visits, and then the line graph is also that same blue. And then our button clicks has our green color gradient down there. Clicking on that menu, our user menu again, we'll go to listings. Custom gradient, underline, since these are actually hyperlinks, you can click into these to get to the listings. Each of these actions on the card are mapped to the gradient colors left to right. So that's unique for sure. And then the delete button is bright red. All of this stuff is designed to match. The pagination at the bottom is all made to look cohesive. Oh, what else can I tell you? What else can I tell you? If they promote, this is custom right here. If they, this is a, I injected this link into the file, this promotions pop-up file. They click this, it's going to take them to another page where they can talk, or it drops them in, talks right about promoting listings. What else? The switch plan. It's using that subscriptions group product to allow you to upgrade, downgrade plans. So that's cool. What else? Yeah, let's go into the next. Promotions. I don't think I have any to show you there. No promotions. I've got a walkthrough video that shows you what the stuff looks like when it's fully designed and populated, if you want to check that out. There's the favorites. No orders. Again, check the video. I cover it. Subscriptions. I think it's the same thing. Yeah. Profile. This is, again, where you would update your whatever fields you give these people, custom fields you give them to update their profiles with. The account. I've combined the addresses, payment methods, and account deals into one tab. I do this on all sites. It just cleans everything up and it reduces the number of WooCommerce endpoints that you need to set up. So pretty cool stuff there. And then logout is logout. If they decide to add a listing right from here, that's going to drop them right over into that section of the Get Started page where they can add their listings. All right, what makes this up is, again, just CSS, the MyListing dashboard, light mode or dark mode CSS package. All right, optimization. I think I touched on this already, but WP Codebox is one of the big ones here. So we are conditionally loading the CSS, for example. So again, there's a lot of CSS on single listings, for example. We don't want that to load on every single page of our website. So we click on Conditions Builder and we say, if the post type is a listing, then let's apply that CSS. Otherwise, don't. Okay. Listing type revisions. By default, my listing will save up to 15 revisions. I knocked that down to 5 for the starter site people. If it's my own site, I don't actually even use listing type revisions. I just save the file. I export it if I need to, make changes and document what those changes are. I've got a guide where I talk about why this is, if you want to check that out. Perf Matters base configuration. Perf Matters is included. Highly recommended premium optimization plugin. I've configured the base settings that are good for 99% of my listing sites without breaking anything. The one thing though would be disable Google Maps. I use Mapbox only. So if you're a Google Maps user, you'll just need to toggle that off. Other than that, I don't touch any other settings because it's impossible for me to know what your hosting is, what plugins you're going to install, how you're going to build your site, what you're going to change of the starter site when you get it, that sort of thing. So that's why I call them Perf Matters safe settings or Perf Matters base configuration. System fonts. Using just a couple lines of CSS, I've killed, all fonts are killed except for system fonts. It's the fastest font stack you can load because it pulls the fonts from your workstation rather than making external calls for fonts and then loading those. If you don't like the look of the fonts of this site, you can easily swap them for whatever fonts you want. Plugins used. So let's just go ahead and look at those firsthand. Actions pack for Elementor. That's what gives us our custom forms for login, registration, and so on. This is a premium plugin. You can get a great deal through the club, but like I said, you likely won't need to update this plugin anytime soon. So when and if you ever do, you can just buy your own license if you want. Advanced Post Queries, another free plugin. This is to pull in our dynamic data into our author pages, our post category pages, and things like that. Cloudflare is just for me, it won't be on your site when it's delivered. Dynamic visibility is for those author pages and building that dynamic data, only showing those elements if they've populated their data. If you're not going to use that, just remove the plugin. Everything will be fine. Oh yeah, I should say that for each of these plugins, which one's required, which one's not. I do in the build notes if you want to read those. But Actions Pack, if you don't want that, you can remove it. If you don't want the custom login registration piece, remove it. If you don't need to build custom author pages or do those advanced custom queries on blog posts and stuff for displaying those, take this out. Nothing's going to break. As far as the core MyListing website, just go back to the way MyListing works. Same thing with dynamic visibility. Don't want that piece. Don't use author pages, whatever. Take this out. That's no problem. Elementor Pro, a license is included. You could remove it, but you're going to lose all the design of the site. Not all of it, but a good portion of it. All the templates, obviously. Embed Social is what allows the embeds to work throughout the site for showing those Google reviews. Crazy discount through the club. I think I said that already. Up to 65% off, I think. I highly recommend checking that out, not just for yourself, but also it's a revenue stream for you. So really check that out. If you don't want to use it, you can just take this off, no problem. Local Translate is just changing some words on the site. You can take that off if you want. Perf Matters, if you've got another optimization plugin that you want to use, or you don't want to use an optimization plugin at all, which I don't recommend, you can take this off. Everything will work. Permalink Manager Pro, not required either, but it does some really cool stuff as far as permalinks, which I'll show you real quick. MyListing gives you some options out of the box to do your permalinks, but Permalink Manager takes it to another level. So you see here, I've got the state of Texas, a city in the state of Texas, the type of listing, and then the name of the listing. And you can get way more granular than this and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But this plugin, which I'll talk about in a second, it does even more than this. SEO Press, if you don't care about your SEO, again, you should, or you want to use a different plugin, or you don't need the pro version and you just want to use the free SEO Press. License for Pro is included. You might as well use it, but you can take these off your site if you want. UiPress Lite and Pro, both of these are required to use the UiPress Pro, which just recently came out. It completely replaced the old UiPress, which I've used on previous starter sites. So I need to do some guides and stuff on this. This allows you to do all kinds of crazy stuff to your WordPress dashboard. If you don't care about that, you can get rid of it. WooCommerce is required. WooCommerce Product Vendors, it's a premium plugin that's not licensed, but it doesn't get updated very often. So again, you can run with this for quite some time. It gives you that multi-vendor marketplace functionality. Stripe Gateway, if you don't use Stripe, you can remove this, put your own gateway in. Subscriptions, premium plugin. I can't license this for you, but again, it doesn't get updated a ton. When it does, you can get your own license if you want. But this is what allows you to do those subscriptions, which I highly recommend over the default MyListing packages. It gives you that upgrade, downgrade ability, and so on and so forth. But if you want, you can just get rid of this plugin, change the type of products that you have from listing subscriptions over to listing packages, and you're good to go. WP Armor and Armor Extended, I'm able to license that for you. This is just your spam protection. You can remove this, put something else like Clean Talk in or something else, and it'll be fine. WP Social, this is a free plugin that gives you that social login capability on the login and registration pages, the custom login and registration pages. WP Codebox, I've already talked in length about. The WP Vivid Pro plugin is I use that to deliver the sites to people. So that can go away, or you can keep it. After I deliver a starter site to people, I run one final backup so they always can revert back to when I delivered the site to start if they want. So that's pretty cool. Okay, what else? Let's go over to, I showed you the pricing page. Let's look at the add listing form. So for that, I'm just going to edit a listing here. So here we go. That's custom gradient again for the active section. Single the character counter. This is the add-on that's included. So it counts down and tells them how many characters they have remaining. you'll see, I won't keep mentioning it, but you see custom gradients all throughout this. What else is unique? This is the Google reviews. So it's just as simple as them embedding their special part of their Google reviews, embed social, link, embed widget, and then they're off, they go. And then there's a link here to a guide for how to do this. What else? It's a lot of customization with the making this look like this. I'm trying to find special stuff here. Really, it's all special, but you know what I mean, like really, really special stuff. Oh, the booking form. So this one, all they need is, again, just one little, I just need to put actually the name of their booking product from Calendr.it. And they're off and running with their booking form, which I'll show you here in a second. What else? The media, we walk them through how to upload their images and like how to compress them if they're having trouble getting the size down. There is image governance on here, so WP code box, limit image upload size. I've got this set for 1 meg, so they won't be able to upload any images that are larger than 1 meg unless you adjust that code snippet for them. So this kind of walks them through how to get their images down below 1 meg and educates them on it, gives them some image dimensions, assistance, like best practices, things of that nature. Oh, this is like a cool field. I call this a feedback field. So it's just a place, good or bad, they can say, hey, this was a terrible process, and then you'd be able to see those notes as the administrator on the back end. That wouldn't be displayed in their listing itself. Okay. So to complete this, it's the pricing page template, contact form. Oh yeah, so that was one. I missed that at the very top here. Need help? Click here. This is going to open a form where they can ask questions right during their as they're adding their listing if you don't have a chat widget installed. So that's pretty cool. I highly recommend if you can swing a chat widget. That way, if you're available to answer questions like in real time, it might help people complete their listing without abandoning it. And you can get some discounts through the club for chat widgets. I use live chat for all my sites. Okay, so again, pricing page template, contact form pop-up template, pricing pages, and submit form CSS package, and the listing packages. All right, region pages. So let's go back to the Explore page. Let me go to gems. So we see here the location here. So this is the city, so Charlotte. Let's click on that. I opened this in a new tab. It would just take you to that tab otherwise. So this is a parent region page. This is child region page. The parent would be the North Carolina page. But it walks you through, like, this is all for SEO purposes. So, talk about the city, have some offers specific to the city or a link to your store. This is all in place, ready for you to populate with destinations for that city, like the neighborhood cities and whatever else. And ad placements, listing feeds, all for that, all specific to that city, listing by listing type, whether it's promoted or featured, and so on and so forth. What else can I tell you on this? This was kind of fun. So the header is actually a screenshot of the Explore page when you filtered by that. You filtered by that location, that region. Scrolling all the way to the bottom, North Carolina would be the parent page. So they're saying, okay, let's scroll that. This would be the parent region page. So very similar build. This would be targeting the state itself, the top cities possibly in the state, and so on and so forth. Same thing as a child page. It's just geared more towards the state itself, the higher level. But a key thing to point out here is when I clicked on that, we'll do that again. You see, it takes you to this page. Again, all for SEO. This is done with Permalink Manager Pro in an add-on that's included in the starter site. I need to actually write that down in the build notes, but actually I do. It's the MyListing add-on for Permalink Manager Pro. So that allows you to click on that link and go to that custom region page. If you do not do that with this plugin, what it's going to do is it's just going to stay right here, excuse me, in the Explore page and filter by that region. That's not good for SEO. It's not what you want to do. Just check that out on another MyListing website, and you'll see what I mean. Definitely would check that out. So to complete this solution, you need that add-on. What else? Parent region page template, child region page template, contact form, pop-up. Not sure where that comes into play. Reach out. So this is calling that form. Listing previews, dark mode, light mode CSS packages. So these listing feeds, again, that design comes from a CSS package. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to the shop page. So if you've ever go to a shop page of a MyListing website that has no customization done and look at it, and then come back here, you'll see why I find it important to do this. Here's a custom slider in the middle just to give you a mock-up idea of something you can create for featuring products, offers, whatever. These are the different listing subscriptions, merchandise. This is custom. I did the gradient on the rating stars. You see there? That was fun. Fit passes, fit vendors. So this is like any featured vendors you want to put on your site. You see here sold by. That one says demo vendor, whereas sold by here is fit. So that's actually sold by the site itself, so the website owner. And then this is the vendor. So that's what that is. So to do this, it's the shop page template. Again, the listing packages, single product, dark mode CSS package, or light mode CSS package. So what that is if you go into one of these products, this is the single product. This was all done with CSS. Okay. Custom stars, ratings, custom gradient buttons, and so on and so forth. All right, let's go to, I think I showed you single blog posts. Yeah, I already showed you that, so we'll skip that. Single listings. Let's go to gems. Lots going on here. So in the dark mode version, here, let's do something here. Let's duplicate this tab. So single listings, like I said, is dark mode by default. Let's toggle on light mode. Refresh this. We'll go back to the dark mode and put that on. Okay, so with the dark mode, what I did was I pulled up they call this the profile menu. I pulled that up into the actual cover area up here. I thought that was a cool look, and then did this custom gradient underline, the gradient indicator, number indicators there. Again, custom verified listing badge with the gradient sign up button. Again, that same design for the favorite icon. You see some more gradients. I don't need to mention them all. But when you compare this top section to the light mode, you see how it's not pulled up underneath there. It's separate underneath there. It still looks good. It's just a different look. What else can I show you? Here is the embed social. So this can show you how those Google reviews being embedded in there would look. So that's pretty cool. MyListing recently allowed you to add multiple directions to your website, or sorry, locations. So that's what I'm displaying here is multiple locations. Quick actions. This is all custom. This is just tooltips only and not using the words until they hover over them. And then it's got the custom gradient. What else? What else? Contact and media. This is actually two different fields. So up here is just the regular gallery using grid mode, and then this is the bonus gallery also using grid mode. And I took some CSS, and what I did was I pulled up this bonus gallery. I pulled it up from the bottom so it's cohesive. So it's two separate galleries, but it makes it look like they've got one giant one based on what product listing package they've purchased and what they've filled in here. So that's a pretty cool thing. Custom gradient underlines. All this stuff is hyperlinked for the phone, email, website, and address. Some custom social login buttons. This was really cool, I thought, was this progress indicator has the gradient. So as they progress through, it follows them with that gradient. And then the privacy policy in terms of use links from there and has that gradient. This right here is the calendar. Again, a ridiculous deal through the club. If you're familiar with Calendr.it at all, this is pretty much the premium version of Calendr.it for free for up to 10 listings per month. That's more bookings. That's more bookings than a lot of people get in a month. So you could upsell people on this so they can embed this into their listings and make more money off of your listing packages, up the price of your listing package. And this thing is highly customizable. You can add whatever fields you want to here. They can monetize off of this by taking payments right from this. You can adjust the CSS so the colors match your branding. I highly recommend it. Let's go ahead and go on here. Packages. This is using the repeater field just to drop in packages that this gym has. So let's say, okay, I want to purchase a daily pass. So you click on this. That's going to drop this product right into the cart. Now, you see here how it says sold by demo vendor. You would then take a percentage of that product if they sold it from your site. 20%, 10%, 5%, whatever that is. Really cool stuff. So what you can do is either increase the prices of your listings, or you can just keep your pricing low for your listings, your listing plans, and take a cut. That's another really popular idea. Okay. This is just related listings. We're going to just, hey, show me all the gyms, coaches, and classes I should be looking at. Similar listings down here. This is just, if you're not familiar with this, there's criteria you can set, but it's like, hey, if it's the same listing type in the same area or has the same tags, whatever, then let's show similar listings. Reviews, all kinds of custom stuff here. These actually should be white, so I'm going to make a note, pardon me, I'm going to make a note to fix that. Single listings, reviews. Okay, so I'll fix that after this video. Thank you for that. Yeah, all ready to go. Merch. So this is, we see here again, demo vendor. So this is them using WooCommerce product vendors to embed a store into their actual listing. And then again, you can either take a cut of each sale or increase the prices of your listing packages or both, or whatever you want to do there. Let's go back to the details tab. Actually, let me refresh this page. I don't know what I did. I think I might have, let's go back here. Oh, I think I got to refresh my page. So what I did was when I flipped between light and dark, I forgot to completely refresh my page. Okay, dark mode. Oh, sorry, I had light and dark mode on. You got to be sure of that. Just make sure you only keep one on at all times. There we go. Okay, so what I wanted to show you here was, okay, so we got website, directions, phone, review, favorite, and then share. This is custom. Okay, and looks good on mobile devices and all that good stuff. And then report a listing. This is custom too. I'm going to make a note here on fixing this button to report listing button. That should be styled a little bit differently. So I will check that. What else? If they click sign up, that's going to drop them right here into their these packages that they've added. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at coaches. Same thing, they've got packages, they're a little bit different. So book now, it's the same as a product. Click that. Again, same thing occurs. Now, when they see, you have to think through this though a little bit more, and like what happens then once that product gets sold. Obviously the vendor is going to find out. Maybe it's logistics that they figure out on their end, to where the actual scheduling of the booking takes place. You could also think of some creative way to maybe get them back into the listing to book through the Calendr.it form, that sort of thing. Everything else in here is the same. Merch store. So up here, this is kind of cool. Book with this person. If they click this, it again drops them right back into their products again here. So the only thing you got to figure out is a creative way. Or again, maybe you don't have to, and that's on the vendor themselves to figure out how to get the booking process to actually work. And maybe it's just something as far as a simple redirection to a booking, another external booking page or something. But it's something that can be easily figured out. Let's look at classes. Let me see if there's anything special on there that I haven't already mentioned for the others. Everything else should be the same. Packages. Yeah, this is a little unique. So I'm saying here, hypothetically, if you're a FIT member, your classes are, this particular class is free. Yeah, that wording needs to be changed a little bit. So I'll put a note to change that. But the idea was, if you're a FIT member, you get classes for free or something like that. I'm trying to brain farting on what my thinking was there. And then this is signing up for a specific package. So again, they click that, it's going to drop them right into the cart, and then you just figure out the logistics from there. Same thing, the sign up button that drops them right into those packages again. Okay. So let me think about this. What else do I need to say? I've got guides for everything on how to do the product vendors, all the discounts for everything you see here has got a discount attached to it. If you're a club member, you can get it, whether it's the reviews or the booking. Oh, that's dynamic. I forgot to mention that. So looking at a coach, for example. So this coach, this name, book Charlie Austin, this is dynamic. It's pulling in the name of the listing. So that's really cool. Oh yeah, and same with the booking. So if this little calendar icon here, book, and then it automatically injects the name of the listing. And then that quick action takes them into their packages too. This is why I did the build notes. It's hard to remember all of this stuff. Oh, what else? Custom navigation arrows on the cover. Show you the contact form. All the gradients. Yep. Single listing contact form. I showed you that. All right, there's a lot involved in this one. Single listing CSS packages, whether it's light mode or dark mode, the gem listing type, the coach listing type, class listing type, single listing contact form template, whether it's the light mode or the dark mode. So again, you've got this light mode option. I can't style the embed social for both sites because it's an embed, so I can't do that. But if you were to say get this site and just you wanted to go all in on light mode, then this is just a simple settings change on your embed social side of things. But nobody's going to see this since the public view of this starter site is dark mode. Okay. Single products. I think I showed you that already. We'll take a real quick look at that. Yeah, I showed you that. Not a whole lot to say there. It's all done with CSS. You get light mode or dark mode. Sitemap page. This is great for SEO. So an XML version is available with WordPress by default, but it's not that good. You want to replace that with an SEO plugin. That's where SEO Press comes into play. That gives you that really robust XML sitemap that is for search engines. XML sitemaps are for search engines to use. HTML sitemaps are for us users to use, which is what you're looking at here. This is custom done with Elementor's sitemap widget. That's how this is all built. You can actually build it, take it from SEO Press, and they give you a shortcode, and you could drop it into a page and style it that way as well. So totally up to you what you want to do there. But this is really awesome for the user experience, so they don't miss any areas of your website. This is also great if you want to be sure that you're checking out all aspects of this starter site. Make sure you're not missing anything. And that's a template that's available, sitemap page template. The support page. Yeah, so all these link to the various section. Lot went into this. This is a lot of real world content, links to specific areas of the site that apply to the actual site. Change your email address. This is going to link to like their actual account so they can change it. This is real world information for MyListing websites in general, and then some that specifically relate to this site. There's just a lot going on in here. Yeah, a lot went into this. So for this, it's the fit support page template, and then the contact form pop-up. So some of these in here, like say if I have questions, you click a link. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Oh yeah, let's go down into here. Who can I contact if I have questions? This is an example. Click that. It's going to pull up in a form. Typography, again, I mentioned I'm using system fonts because that's the fastest loading fonts, and then people that buy the starter site can add any fonts they want if they choose to. Maybe they won't choose to, but a lot of people ask me how to implement system fonts, so this just takes care of it for you right off the bat. Responsive design, anywhere that I've had the ability to specify to not use pixels and instead use rim. And I go into this in the build notes of why you want to do that instead of, you want to start getting away from using pixels, so PX. It's just better for responsive design and accessible design. By default, MyListing's font, they call it the base font size, is too small. So on this site, I decided to tackle that, and with some CSS, I've changed the base size to be 16 pixels. So for accessibility, you do not want your body content to be less than 16 pixels. You will fail accessibility checks across the board if you do that. There was a few areas with MyListing that it just won't adjust to that, and it is what it is. But for the areas that I could control, I did not use pixels, and I did it the right way. And type scale will really help you with that. I have a link to that in the build notes. It's a free solution. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. That's all to say about that. The user dashboard, I covered that already. That's this pop-up here. So when you look at a normal MyListing website, you'll see like this. When you click on what I just clicked on up here in the top right, you'll actually see a drop down of a menu that looks similar to what you're seeing right here. And it'll just have the links that you're seeing right here. that's fine, but this gives you a lot more freedom to design however you want. You can add all kinds of functionality in here, whereas before you just had a menu. Okay, so then the other thing is when you go into your dashboard, by default with MyListing, you'll see this horizontal menu bar that goes across the top. You're very limited in what you can do with it. So I like to just replace that altogether, which is what you're seeing here. It's not there. It's just this pop-up. Okay, and for the reason I said, you could turn this into a mega menu with nothing but using Elementor. You don't have to worry about SEO at this point because this is all like logged in once they're logged in. So you can design this as a giant mega menu page if you wanted. All kinds of stuff is open to you at this point. Whereas if you just went out of the box default MyListing, you just get that horizontal menu and you're at the mercy of, you're also at the mercy of WooCommerce at that point because they're endpoints. Okay, so I thought I'd make it easier on people and give you more functionality and design choices. For this, it's the user dashboard menu pop-up template and then the global CSS package. The vendor shop page, so if we go under shop and featured vendor is just an example. So demo vendor is going to dynamically populate with the name of the vendor. Clicking on one of these product categories is going to drop them down into that section. And then as you see here, the products are sold by the demo vendor. So this is their private store. This is their full-fledged store. And then they can actually embed their products into their listing. So this is done with the vendor shop page template. Listing packages are involved, shop page template, kind of, sort of. Single product CSS packages, dark or light mode come into play. So that's what makes this up. WooCommerce product vendors is the last thing I'm going to touch on here. I've told you it's implemented. I've talked about it a few times. UI Press is included if you really want to customize it to a whole new level, make it look even more modern and more functionality than it already has. I've got a guide for setting all of the product vendor stuff up if you're going to do this on your own or just to figure out how I did it. A custom login experience. So as you see here, I'm logged in and you see a vendor registration link here. If I am not logged in, this will not be there. So that's the only way this will appear. The last thing I'll say that comes to mind is, again, if they log in or register as a vendor, they're going to automatically get redirected to their to the proper location, and you can adjust all of that yourself. All right, guys, that was a lot to get through. I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff. There's a lot went into this. Hope you enjoyed this video, and happy to answer any questions. Hope you're excited as I am about this, and thank you.